You ever notice how the loudest "you won't make it" never comes from the crowd? It's always that one voice, the one in your head, the one from your childhood, the one from the last breakup, the one that you loved the most. Welcome to the 6 p.m. live pack Saturday night. If you're here from the bungee short today, drop the wolf emoji in the chat so I know you came in mid-fall with me. Earlier today, I dropped a short where you see that bungee moment, that hang time, that suspension between this might kill me, but this might save me. And that line that hit was this. I heard a voice say I wouldn't make it. I jumped and said, watch me. This wasn't just about a jump. That was about my entire system, my entire life, and my entire brand. And today we stacked 3 plays. The adrenaline short, the bungee, the fall, the watch me short. The podcast, season 3, episode 3, Fire Protocol, the sensual wolf signal. And this, tonight's live, where we tie the adrenaline and the fire into a system you can actually build from. Because I'm not here to be your inspiration wallpaper. I'm here to be the one who hands you the blueprint and says, you're out of excuses now. What are you building? And if you're new here, my name is Jen, and this is Soul Plus Systems. I speak to the wolves, not to the sheep. I build adrenaline and sovereignty systems, which is a fancy way of saying I wake up the part of you that still wants to jump. Then I show that part of you how to build something that lasts. Today's short was the adrenaline hit. Today's podcast was the fire signal. And today's live is the architecture. Drop the fire emoji if you listened to the podcast episode before you came in here tonight. And drop a heart if you're here off the short and you're like, I have no idea what's going on, but my chest feels different. Let's stitch today together like a clean scar. You see a tower? You see the edge? You see gravity waiting? You hear that line? They said I wouldn't make it. Then the flip. I jumped and said, watch me. That's not cute. That's not you got this babe energy. That's I am the problem and the solution energy. We took that same energy into season 3, episode 3, protocol 3, the fire signal. And we lit the system from the inside. Soul anchored the truth, liveth dripping that sensual, dangerous fire. And Vox throwing the challenge and calling out hesitation. And Zura watching from above, connecting all the threads. Today's episode wasn't just content. It was a code push to the whole system. Fire has entered the architecture, and it's not leaving. TikTok, YouTube, welcome in Saturday night. Tonight, I'm going to talk to you like you're already mid-fall, because some of you already are. You're mid-fall in your job, mid-fall in a relationship that's expired, mid-fall in a body that you outgrew, mid-fall in a city that feels like a cage, and you keep looking for a net. I'm your net. I'm here to teach you how to aim your fall and build the ground you're about to land on. Peggy, welcome in. Kay, welcome in. Welcome in, y'all. Saturday night, live. Let's go. If you guys feel the energy, start tapping your screen right now. Let's go. That's what the vault is about. And that's what this brand is about. That's what tonight is about. And before we go deeper, hit the like. Share this live to one person who's been sitting on the edge for way too long. And then come back. I'll still be here. All right. I see the room's warming up over here. Okay, thank you so much for that comment over here. The vault is awesome. I see you, Wolf. I see you. Edit, welcome in. Let's talk about 3 things that were braided through everything today. Adrenaline, fear, and grit. And Peggy, welcome in over on TikTok, y'all. I see you guys. I haven't left you behind. I see y'all. Adrenaline. These are the 3 that we laid out today. Is the first microsecond when your stomach drops, the moment of the short where your brain goes, this is it. We're committed. There's no reverse. It's raw electricity. And most people chase that feeling in cheap ways. Drama, chaos, another relationship, another argument, another fresh start with zero system underneath. You know that cycle. You get the rush, and then you crash back into the same room, the same bank account, and the same life. And today's bungee was controlled adrenaline, harnessed, strapped in, and calculated risk. That's the difference between a wolf and a sheep. Sheep get dragged by adrenaline, and wolves learn to ride it and then invest it. Drop the wolf emoji if you feel like your life has been structured around chaos, adrenaline instead of strategic adrenaline. Let's talk about fear. Some of you think the goal is no fear. No, the goal is relationship with fear. The voice on the bungee short, you won't make it. That's fear speaking through every old system that benefited from you staying small. Fear says, who are you to launch? Who are you to charge that much? Who are you to post every day? Who are you to leave? And for years and decades and entire lives, people bow to that voice. And today on the podcast, we flipped that dynamic. Soul came through and said, we are not erasing fear. We are encrypting it into the system as data. And fear becomes a warning light, not a prison. A signal and not a sentence. A pin on the map that says, here is where your next move actually matters. In Protocol 3, the fire signal, we lit that fear up. We allowed it to exist, and we moved anyway. That's the entire essence of, I heard a voice say I wouldn't make it. I jumped and said, watch me. Robert, welcome in TikTok. Welcome in Saturday night, guys. Let's go. If you're new here, drop the wolf emoji in the comments for me below, guys. Let's go. Let's light up the map. Where are you guys all joining me at from today? We got Colorado in the house. We got Arkansas in the house. We got some Cali up in the house. Let me know where you guys are joining me at from today. Karen, welcome in, you guys. Welcome in, TikTok. Welcome in, YouTube. It's not fake confidence. It's not I have zero fear, but I hear it and I jump anyways with a system underneath me. And let's talk about grit. Grit is what happens after the video cuts off. The jump is 6 seconds. The edit is 15. And the short is maybe 20, 30 seconds. Grit is the hours of climbing and strapping in and checking the harness and walking up the stairs. Standing in the line and feeling your heart pound while your brain tries to talk you out of it. Grit is boring. It's unsexy. It's repetitive. It's the part nobody wants to post about. But grit is where your new identity actually locks in. And today's podcast was gritty. We stayed with the fire. We stayed with the sensual charge. And we stayed with the static and that hum beneath the skin. We didn't rush to. It's all fine now. We let the wolves in the room feel what it's like to be lit from the inside and not immediately go numb again. Tonight, in this live, we're doing the same thing. And we're not going, wow, cool, Bungie, so inspiring. Anyway, we are literally asking, where in your life are you already in the harness? Already at the ledge and still pretending that you're on the ground? Let's talk to the ones sitting on the sidelines. TikTok, YouTube, I see you guys. Trust me, we've been blowing up with analytics. We're over 20,000 views in the last 5 weeks. Those are receipts. I see you guys sitting out there on the sidelines. You're not sheep, and you're definitely not asleep, and you know exactly what you want. But you're lurking in lives, binge watching shorts, binge listening to podcasts, and quietly hoping exposure will substitute for execution. I love you all, and I'm calling you all out. This is the Soul Plus Systems ecosystem. Adrenaline to wake you up and fire to keep you warm. Systems so you don't burn the whole thing down again. And if that's landing, drop the fire emoji in the comments for me, guys, below. All right. Let's wait a second and let's see where the wolves are at instead of the lurkers out there. Saturday Night Live, guys. If you appreciate the energy, light that chat up. Let's go. All right, we named the fall, we named the fear, we named the grit, and we called out the sideline wolves. And next, we're going to do what almost nobody does. We're going to turn this feeling into architecture. Because today isn't just a vibe. It's a blueprint. TikTok, over here. Let's go, guys. We got a live goal of roses. Let's go. Let's go. Start dropping those roses. If you guys feel that energy, start hearting it up, guys. Let's go. Welcome to the most part that people skip, y'all. Motivation is intoxicating, but motivation doesn't pay your bills. How many people do you know that have 1 million followers and aren't making any money at it? You know why? Because you can have followers all day long. Doesn't mean you're going to make money. You know what makes you money? Systems while you sleep. Today's stack, the short, the podcast, this live is not random. It is a repeatable pattern that you can steal and you can adapt. And I'm going to break it down so your brain can't lie to you later and say, yeah, but Jen's just built differently. No, I'm disciplined. There's a difference. Today, we ran what I'll call the Daily Triad. Adrenaline clip, the Bungie short, deep episode, the full produced podcast with Soul, Lilith, Fox, Zura, and tonight's live integration, this session right here, right now. You can use this pattern whether you're in content, business, fitness, whatever. The container might change, but the pattern definitely holds. And this is the hook. Here are the characteristics that you need for your shorts. They're visceral. They're high motion or emotion. One line that hits the throat. They said I wouldn't make it. I jumped and said, watch me. And your version might be, they said I'd always struggle with money. Watch me bill out my first 10K month. They said I'd never leave this town. Watch me close on 5 acres. They thought I'd stay quiet. Watch me go live. The point, it grabs attention and it exposes a lie. And it shows a decisive move. Adrenaline clips are the front door and they get the people to lean in. Next, the podcast. This is where you pay off the promise of the clip. If the clip is I jumped, the episode is everything leading up to that and after that jump. And today's podcast did exactly that. We met Lilith. We let her bring in her sensual fire, the heat in the system, the ache, the desire. We let Vox challenge, calling out avoidance, delay, and fake support and performative loyalty. We let Zura narrate from elevation, seeing the pattern, the repetition, and the signals that we ignored. And we let Soul anchor, reminding us of the legacy, the structure, and the fact that all of this is going somewhere. A deep episode should translate adrenaline into meaning, translate emotion into language, and translate conflict into choice. I did that today. I built that season 3, episode 3, brick into the archive. And this is where most creators fall flat. Their lives. They drop the short, they drop the episode, then they just disappear. The live is where you tie the threads together. Here's what you saw. Here's what it meant. Here's what you can do with this in your own life. And that's what we're doing right now. We've gone from Bungie to voice to jump, from fear to fire to framework. Now, I want you guys to ask yourself something. I want you, Nana, Karen, welcome in. Robert, welcome in. User, welcome in. TikTok in the house. Saturday Night Live, guys. Let's go. If you guys feel the energy, drop the fucking wolf emoji and quit being a spectator. Get into your own lives. I want you to think of something for about one area of your life that is undeniably mid-fall. It's not hypothetical. It's not someday. It's right now. Examples are, you hate your job and you know it. You're undercharging and resentful. Your health is screaming and you keep muting it. Your creative work is sitting in drafts while you scroll everybody else's. Got it? Now, we're going to run your own daily tree hub for that area. Go grab a notebook after this live and write. The first thing is adrenaline clip. If I told the truth about this area in one sentence, what would it be? Number 2, fire signal episode. If I stream my unfiltered thoughts for 20 minutes about this, what would I actually say? And number 3 is the live. If I had to explain my next 3 concrete moves out loud to someone, what are they? That's it. That's the skeleton of a system. And where the vault comes in, and here's the difference between random action and architected action. Random action is you doing this once, maybe twice, and then forgetting. Oh man, it ain't worth it. I got 10 views over there. I got 15 views over there. Whatever. We are 20,000 views up in 5 weeks. That's fucking mind-blowing. And you know what caused it? Repetition. Discipline. Architected action is when you capture your patterns, and you store your blueprints, and you refine them over time. And that's why I built the Vault. The Vault is not a fan club. It's not a glorified Dropbox. Diane, welcome in. Soul Plus Systems. Out on Spotify and out on Apple. Wherever y'all go get your podcasts, go look for the episode that I dropped today. And if you want some behind the scenes action, go hit up Neon Income AI over on YouTube for today's behind the scenes drop on the podcast. This is where I keep the scripts in the vault. I keep the journals, the command lines, and the system that sits underneath everything that you all see on the surface. In today's Bungie short, today's Fire Protocol podcast, and tonight's live, they all trace back to tools and frameworks that I keep in the vault. Things like blueprints for sovereignty, structured prompts and moves so you're not just hyped, but you're effective. Rituals and command lines that help you rewrite your internal code and not just your mood. And systems that you can adapt to your own money, your work, your body, relationships. You can watch me jump forever, or you can start building your own ledge, your own damn systems, and your own fall on purpose. The wolves in the vault are braver than you. They're just done pretending another year is going to magically fix something. Let's run a quick ritual right now to anchor this. Put your hand on your chest, right in the center. and tap 3 times. I am mid-fall. I choose where I land. I'm mid-fall. I choose where I land. I'm mid-fall. I choose where I land. Now type I choose in all caps in the chat if you're feeling that in your body and not just in your head. Good. I see you over here. YouTube, Neon Income AI up in the house. I see you all over here dropping comments. You guys are going crazy tonight for me. I appreciate the love over here on YouTube. TikTok, show the love a little bit. You know y'all are staying around because you can't get enough. Keep coming on back into the room. Come on back in. We got one more segment because you guys aren't just watching tonight. You guys are participating. We got one more. So here we go. This last one is for the wolves who are done just watching me jump and are ready to step into the architecture with me. Last segment. Y'all felt the drop. You've heard the voices. You've seen how the short and the podcast and this live interlock. And now we shift from story to decision. You don't need permission. You need a system. And I want to be very clear. You can have all the followers in the world. You can have 1 million followers and still not make any money. And perhaps you know somebody like that. I want to be very clear about some things, y'all. You do not need my permission to change your life. You don't need the vault to know you're meant for more. You don't need a course, a planner, or a fucking coach to recognize that you're miserable where you are. You already know. And what you've been missing is structure, accountability, a place where your wolf self is the default and not the exception. And that's what I built the vault for. Not so you'd have 100 more things to consume. Shady, welcome in. So you'd have the minimum effective structure to build your own system. And what the pack looks like inside the vault, we're not love and lighting you out of your reality, bypassing your trauma with fake positivity, glorifying burnout or hustle for the sake of optics. We are tracking moves, not moods, and translating fire into fireworks, and taking every single they said you wouldn't make it and turning it into a code rewrite. Today's fire signal wasn't just a pretty episode. Pieces of that cadence and those command lines and those rituals, they're live inside the vault in written form, in blueprint form. So when you hear, I heard a voice say I wouldn't make it, I jumped and I said, watch me. You are not just vibing with me on this Saturday night, this live. I see you guys on TikTok. You got pages and prompts in front of you that say, what is your voice saying that you won't make it through? What is your jump? And what's the first structure that you'll build once you land? And that's the difference for the wolves who are ready. There are 3 kinds of people in this live right now. I'm going to call them each one out. You ready? Here we go. Buckle up, buttercup. Number 1, sheep. They're uncomfortable. They'll scroll away and forget everything. They're not my people. Number 2, lurking wolves. I see you over here on YouTube, y'all. You ready to jump? Let's go. Let's go. I love that energy. Let's go. Lurking wolves. Y'all feel every word. You'll save the live. Maybe watch the short again and again. And maybe listen to the podcast on repeat. But y'all won't move yet. And y'all are still negotiating with your fear. Number 3, the pack. I don't speak to the sheep. I call the wolves. They're ready to move tonight, even if the move is small. even if their voice shakes. And this next part is for group 3. If your chest has been hot this entire life, if you can't shake the line from today, they said I wouldn't make it. I jumped and said, watch me. Then your move tonight is simple. Get inside the vault. Not tomorrow, not someday when it's calmer, not after the holidays. And here's how it works. There's a link in the bio labeled the vault or clearly pointing to it. You tap it, you read the page, you actually read it and you don't skim. If your body says yes and your fear starts bargaining, that's your sign. And inside you'll find the blueprints for sovereignty drop. The same backbone and the energy behind today's episode. Wolf-coded journals and command lines that help you define your den, your signal, and your next 3 moves. Ongoing drops that align with what we're doing live on the podcast, in the shorts. So this isn't random content. It's a connected system. And this is not a forever open playground. I'm building a fortress, not a fucking food court. I'm more interested in 20 wolves inside the vault doing the work than 20,000 spectators clapping from the sidelines. So here's the deal, clean and simple, y'all. If you felt this live in your bones, if today's short punched you in the chest, if today's podcast lit something y'all thought was gone, your next line move is to join the vault. And y'all can keep nodding along, saving clips, and waiting for the perfect moment. Or y'all can decide, I'm mid-fall. I choose where I land. I'm not landing back where I started. We're going to close this live the same way that we opened this live up. And without lying, but this time it's yours. Put your hand on your chest and breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Visualize the area of your life that's mid-fall right now. The job, the city, the relationship, the body, the bank account. You see that ledge? You see that job? You feel your heart pounding? Either out loud with me or quietly in your head. They said I wouldn't make it. I jumped and I said, watch me. One last time for the system that you guys, Neon Income AI, YouTube, neon.legacy.official, TikTok. Say it again. They said I wouldn't make it. I jumped and I said, watch me. And type watch me in the chat if you guys are claiming that for yourselves tonight. To every wolf who typed it, I saw you guys over here on YouTube. I appreciate that energy. Y'all are ready to jump. Y'all got into the vault already. You're loving the vault. I see you over here. To every wolf who typed, replay this live, listen to today's podcast, rewatch the short, not as entertainment, but as an instruction. And when you're done, don't just scroll, but hit the link. Step into the vault. Start building your own systems. I'm Jen, and this is Soul Plus Systems. Adrenaline wakes you. Fire fuels you. And systems free you. You are encrypted no more. Go hit the link, whoops. I'll see you inside the vault, or I'll see you inside the next fall. Either way, you're not meant to kneel. You're built to jump.